All right, ladies and gentlemen, SA Boxing Talk brings you an interview with Ashley Sexton, all the way from England. He's fighting Sabelo and Ngebiyana, South Africa's own. Ashley, thank you very much for joining us on the chat. We just had a chat off camera as well, which is nice catching up. How's everything going into this fight?
Everything's going really well. No injuries, thank God. Yeah, weight's good. I'm fit. I'm healthy, and yeah, I'm super excited.
So when Sabelo and Ngebiyana touches down in the UK, he's expecting some cold weather, I'm assuming.
Maybe not cold, but wet. Definitely wet.
Okay. Well, we're not used to that here in Africa. It's really hot in Africa. So, and we're coming from summer conditions. So yeah.
Yeah, he's from Cape Town as well, right?
Well, it says that on BoxRec. He actually isn't from Cape Town. I can give you that information. He actually trains up here in Johannesburg. So he's at altitude.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's at altitude. But Cape Town's a lovely. When I look, eventually within the next couple of years, I will get to Cape Town because it's one of the places I've always wanted to go, and I've had family go out there and stuff like that. So the beaches look amazing.
Yeah, you got to go check out Table Mountain. You got to go check out even like where Nelson Mandela went to prison. It's pretty it's a legit place. Like you got to go check it out. Beautiful, beautiful place, but also pass by Johannesburg as well, so we can check in on you.
I'll get some sparring in Joburg.
That you will do. There's a lot of guys in and around your weight division campaigning in South Africa.
I've always kept an eye on them.
Yeah. No, look, I mean, and now you're mixing it up with Sabelo and Ngebiyana. You would know, you've probably done your research on him. He's had a number of decent fights. I think he's like 13-5 at the moment, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a sort of around the opponent that you're destined to fight next. And what do you think about him, actually? What do you actually think about him?
You know what? He's a good guy. He's strong. He's solid. He's never been stopped. So there's obviously I see weaknesses in him, and I think the way that our styles will gel will suit me. And yeah, I know that it's going to go to the wire. He's not coming to lay down. You don't get that with South Africans. They come and they want a war. So yeah, full respect to him. Him and his trainer Bruno, they've been great in working with, and I can only commend them for that. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to getting back in the ring, and obviously it's for a good title as well, the IBF International. So it's the winner a great ranking, and but make no mistake, I'm looking to win this fight and push on.
You mentioned that Bruno and Sabelo's team has been very easy to deal with. They're very nice people. I know them personally as well.
Yeah.
Does it take the edge off the fight when you're dealing with nice people?
No, because I'm not really one of these guys that takes things personal. Like you can say what you want, sticks and stones and all that. I'm not. I've had opponents before where I've had to pick them up from the airport because no one could actually drive. So it was a strange setting to be. I wouldn't want to do it again, but I've actually had to pick an opponent up from the airport, drive him to his hotel, and drop him back to the airport. So it was a strange one. I was actually fighting out in Spain, but yeah, I don't take things personally. I'm a man, and you can say what you want. At the end of the day, once that bell goes, your words ain't gonna mean a thing. So I've already said to Bruno, once the fight's done, everyone's been paid, we'll go and grab a beer, and I'll buy him and Sabelo a beer, and we'll have a good night. So, but
yeah, funny story about that. I mean, we had a South African guy going over to Scotland to fight Josh Taylor. I think it was like 10 fights back in Josh Taylor's career, and he did the exact same thing. He said, like, what it is, what it is. We'll just go catch a beer afterwards.
Yeah, 100%, man. We're in a sport, and I would imagine that the footballers do it, or whatever sport you follow. You while we're in that ring, we're going at each other. We're enemies while we're in the ring. I'm looking to beat you. You're looking to beat me in the worst way possible as well. We're both trying to knock each other's spark out, but afterwards we shake hands and we'll go and have a beer, and everyone loves a cold one.
Straight, exactly. And I'm sure they feel the exact same way. Obviously, I'm going to interview them as well, and I'll send that your way. The other thing is that obviously there's a lot at stake here. I mean, this is you mentioned it earlier. There's a belt on the line. It's a rating that's involved here. When it gets to the ring, and I know that both of you guys are good competitors, both of you guys need this win. Let's put it that way. You both need it. It's not like anyone can afford a loss now. No. I mean, how seriously have you taken it?
I have. If I got beat, I have no excuses. I'm ticking every box, but I know that if I'm ticking every box, I'm going to win. So I'm 110% convinced that I get in and I beat Sabello. Like, as good as he is, and full respect to him and all that, but make no mistake about it, I am coming to win.
And when it comes to crowd support, and in the UK, I know boxing is a really big sport, much bigger than it is in South Africa. I mean, how much support can you expect to be bringing to the venue?
I will have at least 200 personally tickets sold. So but your call's hostile as well. He needs to, I hope he knows what he's coming into. That's the Lions Den right there.
You see, I've experienced your call, but it was lockdown. That place was completely empty.
That's you got it when it was like an eerie place, when there's wind and stuff in it. No, this is going to be hot, humid, and he's going to feel the noise and the heat that night.
I think, you know what, at the end of the day, like, obviously, you guys are fighting in the UK, but if you get the chance to even experience a South African atmosphere as well, it's a different type.
I would love that. Yeah, 100%. I sort of turned pro around the same time as I'm terrible with names, so please correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Jackson Chauke. Jackson Chauke. Right. So he was sort of like South Africa's number one around flyweight, and I was England's at the time, and then we sort of both turned pro. And we sort of stayed in line. I always thought that we would end up fighting, and we haven't. The fight has never even been proposed. But what is it? He's like WBO Global or something at the moment.
Yeah, he just won that belt. He's actually fighting now. He's also the national champion as well in South Africa.
What weight is he though?
He's still a flyweight.
Oh, he's still at flyweight. See, I think I'm too big for flyweight now. I mean, I'm bantam. Possibly, maybe we could meet at Superfly or something, but I'd never make flyweight again. Yeah,
he's gone on. I think he's 20 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw now. So he's only lost that 1 fight. Yeah. Also, like our big flyweight in South Africa is obviously Maruti Mtsalane as well. But he recently came to the UK. Have you ever had eyes on him?
No, I Heki Boulder. Yeah. Butler. Yeah, I used to watch him, but he went down in weight at one point, and I was just like, wow. But I've never personally seen him in real life, so I'm guessing that he's quite short. But
he is short. Yes.
So I feel like I'm a big like super fly bantamweight because I'm like 5'5", 5'6" ish if I stand on my tiptoes, but a lot of the guys are like really like 5'2", aren't they, and 5'4" and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think he's 5'4". I think he's 5'4" is Butler. Yeah. I think, and now he's still he's gone back up again 1 division, so he's at like, what is it? What would you call it? Like no, just below flyweight. We call it junior flyweight.
Light fly.
Light fly.
Yeah.
So he's there at the moment, and then
I mean, you guys rule between you and the Japanese. You sort of rule the lighter weights, don't you? So it's an honor to be fighting a South African, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So how much pressure do you have when you're ahead of this fight? I mean, do you put pressure on yourself? Is there like external pressure? Is there no pressure? Like, what is it?
I had 97 amateurs, and now this will be my 22nd, 23rd pro. So I've won 17, lost 2, drawn 2. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. People don't know this about me. So I've got 5 children, and I got to a stage in life where boxing wasn't paying the bills, and I needed a job. So I went away, educated myself. I got a job on the railway, the British Railway. There's a lot of South Africans as well. That's where a lot of my South African friends, I met them on the railway. And yeah, now I'm a telecoms engineer and by trade now, and I've run big projects in London for both London Underground and London Overground. And I got to a point where I was like, there's something missing. I never fulfilled my potential as a boxer, and I love boxing. So I'm going to take a few years out, and I'm going to go and box, and I'm going to get to where I should have been. And that's what I've done. I've dug at it, and I'm doing this because not for the money. I'm not doing it for anything. All I want is I want belts, and I want to fight for a world title. That's my ultimate goal. I need to get for a world title, because winning, it's all about winning belts. It's all about winning titles. I want more belts on the mantelpiece. So that's the plan, and that's where I'm at.
I find that interesting because like it's often a problem in South Africa as well. The same thing, like you can't be necessarily a full-time boxer unless you get to a certain level, right? Where it's like you're a world champion or anything below that sort of doesn't seem financially viable to do as a full-time boxer. I don't think we have any full-time boxers. I mean, we have guys that still do like volunteer stuff, but there's no full-time boxers in South Africa. And I think that's like, and obviously in the UK, with it being more publicized, you got a lot more guys that are full-time. But I mean, how much work do you put in now? Because do you still work while you box professionally?
So no, I haven't worked for this camp. So after this fight, I'll go back to work. But again, sponsorship is so hard to come by these days. So like I'm hoping that winning this title will bring me back out into the open, and I'll either get a TV deal or a sponsorship deal. So either way, then I can carry on being full time. But if not, then I'm back to work. I go, and I'm happy with that. I'm humble, and I'm just a working class guy. So I'm like everyone else, just trying to make ends meet, and I like to fight. So that's the plan.
You don't seem like someone that would ever call someone out. It looks like you just like go along with the plan, whatever the plan is with your management team. But is there someone in England or someone abroad that you really keep an eye on that you want to fight?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would call people out if I thought it was financially a gain for me or would put me in a position to fight for the title. But at the minute, like when I look at it, I go, well, he's fighting him. He doesn't want to fight me, whether I like it or not. And that's never going to happen because he's got bigger things to look at. So you think I had a break and then I've only had one fight back. So people aren't really looking at me. So after this fight, I can say, right, in an ideal world for me, I beat Sabello April 22nd. I'll then have another fight in between with whoever, maybe another South African, we'll see. And then ideally I'd fight for the British title, which is everyone in England or Great Britain, shall I say, wants to win the Lonsdale belt outright. And I've drawn for it. I've got a draw for it. And that still kills me to this day that I'd never had the Lonsdale belt. So to win the British title would be huge as well. So winning this fight should really put me mandatory for it. So that way I'd start calling people out. But it's childish up to a degree, unless you're like trying to chase people down, like a Dillian White trying to chase Fury or a David Haye trying to chase the Klitschko's. They're trying to make the fight, and if it's on telly, then it's more commercial as well for people that don't even know about boxing. So I would definitely be. I could call people out, but it's just you got to be realistic as well about who you're calling out. There's no point me jumping on here today going, oh, I want Chocolatito, like Eddie Hearn get me Chocolatito tomorrow, because it's just they're going to be like, oh, who are you? you ain't even won a regional title like for God knows how many years. So this is the plan. It all starts. This is my world title fight at the minute because if I don't get past Sabello, I don't get anywhere. So
Well, I was going to ask you that next. I was going to say, like, well, prepare for the worst, what happens. But before I get there, I actually met an interesting character when I was in Saudi Arabia it was on Amir Khan's undercard.
yeah.
Prince Patel. I mean, he had no problem calling out everybody. He called out a lot of South Africans because, as you know, in and around the weight divisions, there are a lot of South African guys there. He was calling Solani Tete, Maurizio Mtsalane. Those are some big names back home here. But I don't suppose, like, that's what I was saying. It didn't seem like you'd be the type of guy to do something like that.
How do you honestly see a fight going with Patel and Tete?
Yeah, Zolani is dangerous. Let's put it that way. Zolani is very dangerous.
So, like, has Patel ever been in it with anyone like that?
Have you been interested in that fight? Would you fight a guy like Patel?
Of course, I've sparred Patel many times. So
okay,
yeah, Patel, yeah, any day of the week.
Is that a really winnable fight for you?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so down the line, that fight could definitely be made. I mean,
it could be made. It could be made for April 22nd. Like, but I don't think Patel fights me.
All right, because I know that Sabello and Ngebiyana as well. There was once talk of either him or Gideon Buthelezi getting in the ring with Patel. So I mean, there's a lot of obviously interaction between South Africa and the UK at the moment. But obviously, this is the fight that we're focusing on now is you and Sabello. And what I was getting to a bit earlier was, like, again, you were just touching on the basis is, if the worst case scenario happens for you and you don't manage to win, what do you do with your career?
For me, it's not even worth thinking about at the moment because that is not in my plan at all. But if it happens, then I have to go away. I have to have a think with my team. Do we rebuild or where do we go from here? Like, what are the options? Like, if I get beat, there might be more options. But for me, getting beat is not an option. I can't get beat. And that's why I'm ticking all these boxes. I'm like, right, have I done this? Yeah. Can I do that? Yeah. Can I do this? Yeah. And come fight night, there'll be no excuses from me if I do get beat. But if there's no excuses, then I shouldn't get beat.
Straight. Well, how long have you been sort of preparing for this fight now? Like, when did you start camp?
So we had a bit of an issue. I've had a few fights fall out of bed because originally I was meant to fight a Venezuelan. He got denied a visa. Then I was meant to fight a Spaniard. He wanted too much money. Then there was an injury involved. And in the end, I didn't end up fighting. So that's why I've been out of the ring since June. But I've been ticking over. So yeah, this is, it was good for me once this fight come along because it was pretty much off the back of a fight that got cancelled, and I was just like, right, let's do it. Let's jump straight in, and yeah, we're good. We're sparring. We've done with, like I say, we're ticking all the boxes. So I'm so happy with the way this camp's going and gone. We've still got 5 weeks left on Friday. 5 weeks Friday. And yeah, from what I hear, Sabello's training camp's going well, and he's firing on all cylinders. So should be fireworks come April 22nd at York Hall.
Should be fireworks, and as I mentioned before, that title being on the line. I want to ask a question from a South African fan point of view because, like, obviously in South Africa, we don't really know much about you and your career. So let's just get like a question just to get to know you. Who's your favorite fighters? Who would you say you most like in terms of your, the fighters out there?
I probably most like at the moment, like currently, Canelo. I think Saul Alvarez he's amazing at what he does and how he does it. I love the way he sort of grinds people down and then takes them out. So yeah, Sal Alvarez will be my favorite fighter at the moment.
So that's not a bad choice. I mean, he's also, well, he's gonna fight Bivol next. We'll see what happens with that fight if it ends up happening. But yeah, it's scheduled to happen, and he was also scheduled to fight a fighter that trains in South Africa as well, Ilunga Makabu as well.
Okay.
So we were looking at that situation, but that looks like it's going to be after the Golovkin fight.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like. But so, are you a big fan of boxing? Do you watch a lot of like the sports, or
you know what? I drive my missus mad because I'll have like I'll have an American fight on the laptop, one on my DAZN on my phone, and then Sky Sports on the TV. So like, yeah, I've got three different areas watching at the same time.
okay? Because some guys like I speak to, they box, but they don't love boxing. Like they just they make money out of the sports, and they like, that's their goal to feed their family. But like, it's good to hear the refreshing part, because then you can also like go into commentary or something.
So I also I'm a trainer, an amateur trainer at my local club, Hoddesdon, Hodbox. My son, he boxed Friday, he won. So
congratulations to your son.
Thank you. What's he had now? He's had 5 now. He's just turned 11. So yeah.
Did you start that early as well?
Yeah, I was in the gym at like 7. So I had my first fight at like 2 weeks after my 11th birthday, because we couldn't fight until we was 11. Whereas now over here, we're allowed to fight at 10.
Okay,
so
sure. I think I was started like 9 years old, but I don't know many 9-year-olds that box.
No. So I train like probably 40 kids between the ages of 10 and 16. Like,
and without being biased or anything like that, because I know obviously you say your son will become a world champ. Are there like stars coming out of that gym that you can see?
Yeah, definitely. No, listen, my son's just at the very start, and it's hard to say where your own kids are going to go, because one thing that I find is like, I can't treat my son like I was, because we've had different upbringings. Like I come from an estate in North London, like which was rough. My son comes from the suburbs. Like he doesn't have to worry about anything, because me and his mum have done it all for him. So you can't. Some of these kids, like I never had my first pair of shorts until I got to a national final. Like my kid, he's had a pair of these custom made shorts before he's even had a skills bout. Like, so like it's a different way, it's a different time. I get that now with social media and stuff like that. So you got kids that are probably never going to fight, but they've got all the gear and that. But I don't know. Look, all I need to see from him, from my own son, is progression every fight, and that's what he's doing. And from all the other kids I train, there's some that are naturally gifted fighters. There are some that are so skillful, like they make me jealous. I think, I wish I could do that. Like, but technically, I'm not as good as them. But everyone excels in different areas, and as long as I'm bringing the next generation through and trying to keep them having manners and saying please and thank you and being respectful to their elders, I'm happy.
So that obviously speaks to, your love of boxing earlier. So you want to do that for, until you're an old man, you want to continue helping out and giving back to the boxing community?
Yeah. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the coaches and trainers that gave up their time for nothing when I was an amateur. And that's what made me fall in love with the sport. Like, and I've got friends that from my first gym that I ever walked in, that I'm still friends with today. Like, I think when you punch someone, even if it's only for 6 rounds, like you two share a bond for like the rest of your life. And training with people like week in, week out for years, like you share like something ultimately that you can't get with anyone else, because they know what it's like when you're punching them and they're punching you. So yeah, I like, who knows what's going to happen, but as far as I'm concerned, I want to be an amateur coach. I'm eventually one day I'd like to be a pro coach, and to me, it's not. There's more than money in the world. I'd rather a champion than a paycheck. Like, so maybe
Oh,
that's
okay.
maybe that's just me, but yeah, they like the way I see it. Like, your name goes down in history. Yeah, that money's going to be spent, but that's why I want these belts. I want these belts so that I can turn around and say, look, I won all them, rather than, yeah, I got paid this. I didn't get nothing for it, but do you know what I mean? So it's a funny way to be, but I don't know. Maybe I'll change my attitude in a little while when I've got no money. But while I'm working and everything's going well, I'm happy with that. And I feel like now if I don't turn up to training, if I've got something else going on, I feel like I'm letting these kids down as well. So I prioritize that above everything else now. So yeah, there's some good kids and I'm enjoying it, and hopefully some of them will be there at fight night as well. I definitely know 5 or 6 of them will be, but we'll see how many of them we can drag out.
I was about to say, you can't let your students down now after all that.
No.
So it's gonna be obviously a lot of hard work. You're gonna have to
put
earn
pressure
the
on me now, aren't you?
No, not at all. But no, obviously, I mean, yeah, students will follow suits. They need to see that their trainers got what it takes to impart his knowledge. So yeah, there'll be eyes on you as well. Your actual so I'm going to do this to Sabelo as well. I'm going to do an interview with him as well, and I'm going to say, what would your message be for him before you guys step in the ring?
Just fight your heart out and stay safe.
All right, so it's it's a humble one.
Good luck. You're gonna need it. No, but I'm not into that. Like, we're gonna get in there, and I am gonna fight my heart out, and I know he will. We both don't want to lose, so it's gonna make a good fight. The winner, the best man wins. We'll shake hands after. We'll have a beer, and that's that. But yeah, there's no malice. There's no, I'm not gonna shout, I want to kill you, I want to do this. I don't even know the guy. The guy's trying to he's trying to earn money the same as me and win fights, and that's what we're all here to do. So let's do it. Let's do it hard and let's do it good. And yeah, that's it.
So at the end of the day, may the best man win. As simple as that.
May the best man win. If he beats me, then I'm obviously not the best man. So I've got no qualms with that. That's why I keep saying I'm ticking all the boxes. As long as I tick all the boxes, and I'm 100%, I believe I beat Sabelo, and he probably believes the same. So the fans are going to get a treat out of this. They're going to be the real winners. We're going to knock lumps out of each other, but they're going to get to watch a proper fight.
All right, and I like the answer to that one. It's going to be completely down the middle. We're going to see it from South Africa. We're going to see it from the UK. It'll be probably played here as well. So again, Ashley, thank you very much for having a chat with us and giving the South African audience something to watch as well, and to learn a bit more about you, because they're obviously going to want to know who Sabelo is coming up against. And, it's a big title fight. So thank you again for having a chat.
Thank you for having me. And thank you to all the South African people that tune in. I will get out to Cape Town and Joburg eventually, but yeah, good luck, and I hope everyone's well over there.